Hey, so welcome. So today I want to talk to you for a few minutes around why women are coming to us when they have a sales problem in their business. And so you know that we're experts in, women who want to share their story, their expertise, their gifts, their wisdom. They want to kind of package all of something up that they know, that they feel really passionate about, that they know that they can help people with. They've been through something in their life and they want to share it with the world. One of the biggest mistakes that women make when they start doing that is they sort of like structure themselves as therapists or readers or people who charge $150 an hour for their service. The problem with that is that you can't build a sustainable business if that's the way you structure your business. So we keep talking to women a lot lately who are having specifically a sales problem in their business. So one, they've structured their services in a way that will never get them to scale, right? They'll never actually be able to have positive cash flow. And positive cash flow is necessary in a startup because without positive cash flow, you can't reinvest in your business. This is any business, whether it's brick and mortar or it's online. And so without positive cash flow, you just can't survive and you'll end up quitting, shutting down your business and, kind of struggling, right? We don't want that. So they are doing that or they are, they have structured it where they are trying to make sales, but they're not making sales. So even if they're trying to charge more than that, they've heard someone say that they should structure it in sort of like a high-end program, which is what we teach you how to do. A lot of times they're getting on discovery calls with clients to try to sell their program, but it's not ending up in sales. And so we've had a number of calls lately where this is the issue. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that today, especially if that's something that you're struggling with. So one of the things, if you're watching me, you know that I talk a lot about women and men too, but I mostly focus on women who have emotional traumas from childhood, who have armor around their hearts, who have codependency issues, they have self-abandonment stuff, they have worthiness stuff, and all of that. No shame, no judgment, because I had it too, and we're still all healing. But this prevents a lot of women from selling. So I love to talk about the intersection between trauma, emotional trauma specifically, and selling or money or financial freedom, financial sovereignty. That's why I've created a lot of my business is all around, trauma and the ways in which we have, this stuff from our past, and money, and how we can really embody a more financially free, life. All right. And so specifically the women I'm talking to have a gift to share. Like they know this in their heart. Usually it's actually the pain that they suffered in their past, whether it's through a marriage, whether it's through their parents divorcing, whether it's through not having a parent present, whether it's through, specific trauma that they've experienced in a relationship. They like really want to use that and share with other people how to get through that pain. And I believe that that is a really important part of this time that we're living on the planet. Actually, the internet allows us to reach people who need to hear our story, to actually have our mentorship and help us accelerate the ascension of human beings, right? We get to awaken at a faster rate because there are those in front of us who have walked something that we're going through, and they can help us. And so that's like the reason I do what I do. And I believe that it's needed right now, right? And I believe that every woman specifically really does have a gift to share and actually came to the planet to do that. The problem that I'm seeing though, and why I created the business around money mostly, is because so many women are struggling with this, especially if they have trauma. So let me just say, one of the women we spoke with recently, she had many, many, many calls, talking about her program. So she had no shortage of people interested in her program, which is an amazing thing, right? A lot of people really want to get to that point. And if you get to that point where you have created some momentum around what you do, you've created a message, you've created content, people are resonating with it, they want to have a call with you, and they're getting on the phone with you, this is awesome, right? This is an awesome thing. Now, the next piece that you need to look at is like, how's it going after that? So then you get on the call with them and you make your offer. And if, at least 40 to 50% of those people are not saying yes to you, then you have a sales problem, right? And this is a couple fold, right? One is a strategic issue, right? So there could be just actual actions that you're taking, scripts that you're not following, which I know there's a lot of like ambivalence around following a script. But that's really just kind of getting down to the psychology and art of how people make decisions, right? And scripts help us stay on track, especially when our emotions are involved, especially when we're selling ourselves, when we're selling our expertise. There's a whole lot of stuff that comes up in that that can be different than something you've sold in the past. That's why my sales team can have an easier time selling my product than they can have selling their own product, right? So there's something different that happens when you start selling your own service or your own product. So if that's the case where you're getting on the phone with people, people are interested in what you're doing and they're not buying, they're not saying yes to you, then there's a sales problem. Now, most of what we're finding actually when I speak with some of these women is that there is a lot of unhealed, let's say, how do I say it? There's this feeling, especially for women, around sales, right? If you're watching this right now and you start getting even anxious when we start talking about sales, that's what it is. And so awareness of it is huge first, right? When you start to understand that you think you believe in what you're doing, you really do believe it, right? You wouldn't sell it otherwise. However, you're not making the sale, then I would guess I'd obviously need to talk to you personally, but there's an integrity issue because you're ambivalent to actual sales and marketing. So there's a part of you that really hates sales and marketing, but you're participating in it because you feel like you have to, right? To sell your stuff. You know that this is the way the world works, and you do have to get on the phone, or you do have to have a sales page, and you have to figure out how to sell your stuff. This is a reality, right? However, if deep inside you struggle with that and you want to turn away from it and you wish that it wasn't that way, then you know that likely there's something in you that really resists this. And that is likely the energy. There's something around that. That is the energy that is really preventing you from making the sale on the phone. So people can sense that, people can feel it. Even if you believe in what you do, if you have an ambivalence to selling, to someone parting with money, to them giving you money, if you feel like there's something in you that is not on board with it, then that's 100% why. Okay, so there could be a couple of fixes to that. Obviously, I will never tell you, you just have to push through, because that is not the way that you handle trauma. That's not the way that you handle wounds within you that really come back to worthiness, right? Because if you really did believe that you were worthy and that what you share is worthy, you would ask people unequivocally to invest in themselves, right? So if it's not happening and you're not able to like state your offer with clarity and really just make it like, you believe that this is like the best thing that you could do for them and this is the best thing that they could do for themselves. If that's not there, then that is the thing that has to be fixed. And that usually comes back to emotional early childhood wounds. And a lot of it can be worthiness stuff, but it can also be self-sabotage, right? So there's so many layers to this, but the sales issue actually has so much to do with those of us who grew up where our needs weren't met, our emotional needs weren't met, and we really doubt ourselves all the time. We feel like we have to over justify who we are and what we do. And so I just really encourage you today. I really just want you to look at, if this is happening for you, then you really do want to get help with this, right? You need someone to look at what you're doing. And actually, what we're doing with these clients is we actually listen to sales calls. So we actually have you record it. The other person knows that it's being recorded. We record all of our calls for training purposes. And then what I will do, and my team, we actually listen to your call, and immediately I can tell you what's going on and how you can fix it, and it's not just a strategic thing. There's an emotional and spiritual element to this that needs to be there in order for you to be 100% congruent with what you're doing. And that's why you need to have another set of eyes look at it that has expertise in this area. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions, if you're here and you have any questions about selling your high-end program or selling whatever you do, I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments. And yeah, we just want you to be really successful and share your gift with the world this year. All right. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye.